How you doing? This is strange for me. Making several videos in one day. I'm gonna make two today. You just seen one. So we're gonna call this the other day video. See, same shirt. That's from Daryl Burgess. His two boys mow lawns. Thought that was pretty cool. I think Barb's getting her butt wet. She's out there covering something up with a tarp that needed to be covered. I hear it raining. Okay. Somebody had asked, hey, what's the problems with the coils on these Pioneers? Well, you could have a bad coil. Plain and simple, yeah, they're hard to get. Is there other alternatives? Probably. I haven't got where I looked yet. I'm thinking there probably is. Looks real close to like the steel 44, 46, 66 coil. They seem to fit on a lot of saws if you want it bad enough. Okay, I've got two different Pioneers in that did not have spark. One come from the upper reaches of eastern Canada. Yeah, you guys know who you are. And I fixed the coil because there wasn't nothing wrong with the coil. Wire routing is huge on these. I'm gonna try to get you over here and show you the view, the two things that I've ran into. Okay, one saw. This ground wire, which connects right down here, which I haven't put on yet for a reason, was routed wrong. There is a little notch. This ground wire has to come up around that mount. Don't do this. Don't. I'll tell you why. Your side cover, when you put your starter cover on, you can pinch it. Okay? It has to be all the way in there. Okay, just like that. Alright? And then obviously that goes to your kill switch. The next one, you'll see, because this is such a beautiful saw, this has plastic over it, over the connector. After a while, that breaks, comes off everything else, so that's bare. Okay? And then, it doesn't take much. See, that's bent just slightly. We need to tweak that just a little bit. Okay? Just not much. Just don't break it. And that's all I'm doing. Because this one still has the plastic on it. This end. Okay, because when you put this wire in there and you fasten that just like that, see how close that rides? If that's bent and that's touching, you won't have spark. That's why it's kill wire. It goes to kill switch. Okay, that's the two things I found. Okay, quite honestly, God, these are beautiful saws. Boy, that turns so nice. Okay, now back to our regular what we're doing. Okay, I'm putting this cover on. You just kind of drop it in, give it a little pull, you pull cord, and it'll come right back down to flush right where you want it. I'm only going to put 2 screws in right this second. I'll tell you why. I want to be able to roll this over, but I know I'm going to have it back off, or at least I'm pretty sure of it. But there was another thing that you guys needed to see that I want to share, so this is what this is all about it now. You know, when I'm dealing with multiple screws in the same thing, I don't care if it's handles or covers or anything. I don't seat them. All I do is just get them in there, get all of them started, and then start tightening them up. Because how many times have I started tightening screws and then found out that what I needed to do was loosen them, just so I can get the last third of the screw in. Okay, I'm not going real tight with this at this second. I'll tell you what's next. I want to know what I got to do about my reeds. But most importantly, let me show you some routing. Okay, your fuel line goes right there, notch in the case, okay? Obviously, it goes to the carburetor. It comes up around, goes in like this. See that wire, how that's routed? Let me bring that back. You could see with that kill switch, right in here, that could get pinched if that wasn't exactly where that is. These are two things that are quite important for these saws. Oh, we're getting a thunder broomer. Hey, buddy, you can help, huh? Okay, here's the reed cage. This is the reed stop, okay? This is the yellow piece is the reed itself. What that does, to explain how reeds work, is when that the piston is going up, it creates a vacuum in the case of the saw, okay? It opens that reed. When it hits top dead center, it stops making vacuum, reed closes. On the way back down, crankcase pressure ensures that this reed is seated, hopefully, and it does not put air in. This is why your intake timing is controlled by reeds. Okay, so what can we do about reeds? And what do we know about reeds? We know a lot about reeds. But here's the deal. There is a certain tension you want. You can play with thicker, thinner metal reeds, fiber reeds, carbon fiber. We might go to a carbon fiber. We don't know that yet. But I'm telling you what, if the reed sounds like a duck call, you probably should give it a chance. You got something there. That's a good duck call. But this limiter may limit that too much. What we need to run the saw just the way it is, okay? And then decide what we're going to do next. That's what we need to do. We may bend this limiter just a little bit, or thin the reed and bend the limiter. But this is a big saw. It seems like Pioneer had one thickness of reeds. The smaller they got, the more that they took to open that reed. This saw is going to draw air like a sucker. So I'm probably going to give this a chance just the way it is. But there's things you need to know. That's a pretty small hole, ain't it? Yeah, it is. My air conditioner's acting goofy. Boy, I hope that don't go down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is measure this. I'm going to port this reed cage. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, here's a common problem with reeds. Sometimes you look at it, and when you look in the end, or even a V-shape ones or these, whatever, if you see a little air between the reed and the cage, you can flip it over, okay? And it should tighten it back up. That's what it's supposed to do. Okay, we have opened up that reed. We've opened up considerable, okay? We have. Something you need to keep an eye on is, I got to, geez, give me another one here. There we go. That hole right there and right there, this one is used for your impulse. Don't crowd that, you won't get that seal. And don't cut into these. Now you can accidentally grind too far inside here and cut into that. Don't do that. You want to guarantee that you got a seal. But what it is, I want to match that to my carburetor size actually, which we're pretty close. But it was really smooth. I wanted it roughed up just a bit. Okay, so I think that we're going to do something kind of cool here. I'm going to make an attempt to use this carburetor. This is a Husky 394 carburetor. I'm going to see if I can. Okay, so let me do a fitment here. I want to finish getting my reed together and button that up first. when you tighten these reed screws, bring up where they just touch, do not over tighten them. About 1/8 of a turn. That's it. Just snug. And then we got to do the duck call test. Success. We got our duck call back. Okay, now I'm going to clean things up and put this reed cage in the saw. A little note. I'm trying to remember everything that I just don't think about telling you. It's like, well, they got to know that. Okay, these air horns on both saws, you'll find out there's a casting mark or something not smooth or whatever that's going to be a problem. So what I do is go in there with my little Dremel or my porting tool, and I'm actually, you might as well say porting that too. I want a better transition. I should have took a video of it first. You can't see nothing in there, can you? I should have took a little video of it first, so you see the difference. It's opened up good. Yep, it's opened up good. It's little things like this. If air can't get down through this, oh, and he's got a stack we're putting on it. He already had it on. If air can't get down through this, it ain't going to go through. We're working so hard to get air to move. We are not going to leave obstructions. Don't weaken it. Watch your holes. Don't blow through. Make it better. These are still work saws. Competition saws. Throw it. Yeah. I used to build competition saws. We just run a piece of window screen. And we'd make it big and just clamp it onto a little short piece of pipe on the carburetor. We didn't want the big chip skid going back in. They'll burn dust. It's carbon. They'll burn dust. But it was the big chips. We didn't want to go in there and hang up a ring or some darn thing. So now what I'm trying to do is see what I got to do to fit this carb. Okay, I'm right in the middle of changing the choke shaft. And this, I'm taking one out of the original saw and putting it in this carburetor. But there's something you need to know. There is a little ball. Well, there it is. It is a check ball. I'll hold it in my hand. See that little bugger? Okay. That goes on the left side of your carburetor. It goes right in this hole. And just like this, you just kind of tip your carburetor down, pop that in there. It's sitting on a spring, whether you know it or not. If you mess around, tip that carburetor upside down, that spring will, the spring will sprung. Okay? And then all you're doing is when you're putting that together, you slide your, it actually comes from this side on this carburetor, so I can't do it. What you're doing is you're sliding your choke rod in, and you got to take a little pick, push that ball down, just snap that in there. Now, what that does, that little check valve does, is that keeps your choke from sucking open, or sucking closed, rather, when your saw is running. Okay? Okay, we have the choke rod changed from the original carburetor into this one. Okay? And the 394 carburetor had a couple stops, because the choke actually works the opposite way the 394 was intended. Okay? It does. So I had to grind the stops off on the inside to make that work. And it should be fully open. What was going on, it was only opening about that far. And then you'll be tuning around a partially choked saw. And so everything you're trying to gain by doing this, I'm more than anything trying to get by that governor without blocking the governor. I've been through this. Sometimes they work good, sometimes they don't. Uh, I think this is a better way for me at this point. So now what I got to do is figure out what I'm going to do. Am I going to change the other one? I think so. We're going to change the throttle side now. I forgot to turn my camera on. I'm sitting here yakking away, you guys. Okay, we got our carb switched over, and got lucky. That 394 had a wall burrow, and this had a wall burrow. They're the same series, but 20 years apart probably, or something, 15. So everything fit. So that's something you got to remember, because make sure you got the right carb to change the throttle shafts and stuff around. It'll just make it so much easier. And I suggest, if you have never done it, take pictures. The little spring on the throttle, what I do is I just take out the set screw that adjusts your idle screw. Take it all the way out. And when you put that little spring is on your throttle shaft, you just wind it up once, pop it in, put your clip in, and you're done. A lot of that you'll figure out as you go. The one thing is, we've got full throttle now. We have full choke. I still have things to do. Okay, right here, that wire. See, this is how that wire gets pinched. That has got to go up, over. Now I can put that screw in. And so let's do it. It's doubtful if I'm going to start this saw today, quite honestly. I may, I don't know. Might fire it. I didn't really want to put the muffler back on because I got to do a little work to the muffler. I want to do. I don't have to do nothing, do I? Okay. I hate it when I'm working. I got a bunch of screws and I hear something go tink. So, hope they didn't go to this saw. I don't know what it was. Okay. Same thing with these oil lines. I got to take that screw out. Because of that manual oiler, them lines go up over that mount too, which I thought I had them. But I didn't, did I? Okay. Kind of a neat trick, isn't that? 394, 395 carb, they're about the same. On an old Pioneer. Well, by golly, maybe it did go under it. Yeah, apparently it did. Well, not sure what's the other way. Been a long day. It really has. Appreciate you guys' patience being here for this little project we got here. This is a nice saw, though. God, this is nice. I guess I could just pop that muffler on and trick a little gas in it and see if it just lights a little bit, couldn't I? I don't have a handlebar on. I could probably figure a way to... We'll see. Let's just see how I feel. I did clean the carb, but I'll tell you a little trick. Them old carbs, you don't always know. You generally got it. Well, you know what? I tell you what, I lit one of them up, and it was real high idle. Something wasn't quite right. Things were jocked around a little bit. Boy, I learned after that one. I got saw set off by pulling up spark plug wire, but get that darn switch on. Make sure that's right. There we go. We have a proper kill switch. Okay, we have a high idle. What haven't we got? We got any fuel in it, do we? We don't have the fuel line hooked up either. But trying to get rid of some of my grunge. These little projects are so cool. Them poor guys that work on these new saws, It just must drive them bonkers. Of course, everything just plug it in, see what's wrong, I guess, or reset, or wherever the hell you want to call it. I got your reset right here, buddy. I need stronger glasses, I think. It's getting really difficult for me to see good. I did have to rotate that fuel nipple on this. I'm going to tell you that right now. I did. Well, let's see what we got for muffler this kind of stuff. These are kind of cool. They got extra parts. I'm not going to get crazy with this, but we don't need that, do we? No, we don't need that. Not for starting up. And there's spacers. If you eliminate that, you got to have spacers. That's something I can tell you. But, like I said, we're not getting crazy with this right this second. Gotta see what I have here. I got one of them. There, look at that. That one fit. I haven't lost a bolt yet. Well, I tell you what, put your bolts, your hardware and stuff in bags and everything else, because I'll tell you, there's nothing worse than thinking you got something good going on and then finding out you're missing parts or didn't know what went where. That's the worst thing that happens, isn't it? What went where? Ain't a big clutch on this. Really ain't. But it's enough. I know it is. They wouldn't have put it on there. Pioneer, I'm gonna tell you, they had it going on. They really did. They were a good company. They built a heck of a saw. They really did. You know what's funny? The whole time I was logging for 30-something years, I never heard of a Pioneer. Never had them here. No dealer. Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't until, I don't know, one of you guys mentioned something about a Pioneer and asked me a question. I kind of looked them up and, well, I said, well, gee, that's kind of neat. Then I did the old, wow, there's a read in this. And next thing you know, we're building Pioneers. I don't care for working on the Max as much. They're different. I'm going to leave that to the Mac guys. I'm going to build some. Don't think I ain't. But we're going to let them. There's other people that like building Macs, and I'm going to let them. In fact, I might even help them. Say, hey, here's a few more if you want them. Okay. My old buddy's sitting right there. I'll tell you what. Got anything to say there, mister? Got anything to say to him? He just want to love on me. Yeah, he's a crazy cat. Okay, now that I flew you around the room once. Okay, watch your eyes, buddy. He doesn't bother me until I'm really right in the middle of something important. And then he comes over frickin' doing his cat thing. This whole spark plug in here. Come on, baby. You know you love me. Ow. You bit me. little chunk. Okay, I'm going to have to get a special tool here to do this. Okay, everything's buttoned up. Colin's here helping me. Got home from work. That means it's time for me to quit. We had it fired, but we are not delivering fuel at our carburetor. So we have something there going on. It's not just plug and play taking the carburetors off these. There's a little bit to it. They're not bad. They're just things you got to do. I'm going to have to another day get back to this carb, take it apart, make sure everything's just so, throw the bugger back on and we'll have it. And if this one wants to be a problem, I've got another one. So we'll be doing this. So until next time, thank you.